Welcome, kings and queens, to another episode of Unapologetic, your number one podcast. This is the show where kings and queens tell their legacies and on. So get ready for the gems to drop and pull up to the table because we're ready. Welcome, my people. We are back on another great episode of Unapologetic, your number one podcast. It's your favorite host, Melly Mel, aka Mr. Unapologetic. I know everybody used to seeing me at the Z.G.E studios, but right now we're getting a great deal of upgrades and updates that we needed. Man, we want to make sure y'all get the best of the best. So, we're going to do this at home, man, chilling on the couch, but we still all about our 100% professionalism and respect. So, welcome back. Today, we have a very special guest, man. It's been a long time, man. We've been a hit and miss because of the busy schedules and the life itself. But we want to welcome onto the show Mr. Bernard Taylor, man. He has, oh my God, I don't know how to even put his accolades. He ranges from acting, firefighter, nursing, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let him tell it because there's only a few things that I can come off with the top of my head. So with all due, man, give it up for me. It's Mr. B. Taylor, man. Welcome.
Man, what's going on, everybody? Lord Jesus, you got me trying to talk about myself, man. I'm very much not used to that, man. But what's going on, everybody? My name is Bernard. I'm a firefighter here in South Florida. Former collegiate athlete, former professional athlete. Oh gosh, currently an actor, currently firefighting, currently EMT, almost a paramedic. Hopefully, fingers crossed, take my national exam in a few days. So,
oh wow,
want to be a nationally certified paramedic real soon, and they can add that thing to the cap. But like I say, man, very humble, very excited to be talking with my man here. Like you say, we've been trying to get this thing together for a while, so you guys got to kind of excuse us, man. Two busy people. It's kind of getting hard to sit down with each other, but we finally did it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate, man. People got to understand when you on the grind. Like I honestly, I respect what you talking about, all the accolades that you do, everything that you do. When you focus on the grind, man, it is so hard to get time for yourself, yet alone, for other people. So, man, y'all gotta give it up for the brother. Y'all heard you all heard what he all does. So it's amazing, man, that you're able to be sitting upright right now. In my opinion, because I've been in
this chair, I've been knocked out right now. This chair keeping me focused right now.
That's what's up. Well, we ain't gonna keep it too long, man. But I have to highlight, man. I respect all that you have done because you have to have a strong mentality for that, and that shows a grind. That shows a passion more than anything. Because to me, without a passion and want to do something, you're not really going to put your all and effort into doing it. We already know that.
100%.
But with you, man, just going through your social media, just doing research and whatnot, man, it's crazy because I want to know, what did this come from? You know what I'm saying?
I get that question a lot, bro. So what happened was, so being a firefighter, my schedule is basically I work 24 hours straight, and then I get 48 hours off. So I work for a day, then I'm off for 2 days. And then with my department, after every 6th shift that I worked, I get an entire week off. So I really only work 9 days a month. So if I'm only working as a firefighter for 9 days a month, average month, 29, 30, it's 30 days. So I got 21 other days to fill my time. Like, what do I do? So I started to look at videos on social media. I started seeing certain people, what they were doing. And I'm like, why? I got all this time. I see these people doing these videos, don't look that hard. And I've always even going back to being a kid, I liked performing and acting and like doing little skits. And then my children put me on the TikTok, and it's like, they always show videos and whatnot. And I'm like, and they told me like people getting paid. I said, people getting paid for this? I said, bet. So, yeah, man. putting out videos. I started doing a little research about like how social media works as far as how you get good engagement, what do platforms look for,
Right.
algorithms and all that good stuff. So literally, I want to say back around this time last year, that's why I say it's been a whole year, so it's been bananas. Literally around this time last year, I said I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna post 3 videos a day for a
Mm.
month straight. So for 30 days, I posted 3 videos a day. So that was what 30 times that's 90 videos I did in 1 month. And by the grace
Wow.
of God, man, one video took off. And even to this day, it got like 20 million views. That same video that took off over a year ago. And it kind of just put me into a whole different stratosphere on social media. So
Damn.
one video went viral, I kind of just got, oh man, I could do this. So started making more videos, starting to kind of feel my audience. I started
Right.
to people just started to people started to like appreciate what I was doing, and I got positive feedback. And then you like say I started opportunities started opening up. You know, they still had the Facebook and the Instagram Reels bonus plays before they.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was truly amazing. So like I say, it was just something that started out as basically a hobby, man. I wanted something to do on my days off to fill my time because
Right.
you can only lift so much weight.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Don't want
So
to kill
like I said,
yourself.
man, it just took off from there, man. And like I said, it's opened doors over the past year for many other opportunities.
So what? So are you from the 305, right?
Absolutely, man. Born and raised. No,
Oh
no, don't
wow.
get
Oh
twisted,
wow.
man. Jackson Memorial Hospital, man. Born and raised. Home
That's
sweet
awesome,
home,
man.
man.
I haven't lived there since I was like a teenager. Honestly, man. It's just my dad is from Florida. You know, shout
Okay.
out to the Floridians.
Man. Absolutely.
And uh during my, when I was, doing my research and whatnot, man, I seen a picture of you when you was a younger kid, man. And it looked, man, it's shocking that it looks, man, you look exactly the same as you was the kid.
Yeah,
Like ain't
bro.
nothing, you just got bigger. You get what
Yeah,
I'm
that's it,
saying?
man. That's it.
So
Strong genes, brother. Strong genes.
bro, it's I was crazy. I'm like, man, this is like a reflection, man. You can't say that, oh no, that's not me, man. Everybody in the world can see that and be like, oh yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
But in the picture, who was that with you?
Oh man, duh. I gotta think about which picture. So was I like sitting in a chair, like a
Yeah, yeah.
so that was my uncle, man. That was my uncle, whom everybody probably knows now. That was my uncle Tramar, also known by many in the world as Flo Rida. So that was us.
I had to ask because
Yeah,
y'all look so much alike.
man. That was him, man. So that's my man. He only 9 years older than me, so we pretty much grew up more so. It was like a big brother, little brother thing as opposed to uncle nephew thing, man. So
Oh wow, wow. So how does that react with your lifestyle, man? Was people do
I
people
mean,
really know?
it was crazy in the beginning. So it's like I say, he's been out there for almost going on 12, 13 years now. So when he first initially popped, I was in high school. Like it was my senior year in high school. So it was towards the end of my senior year in high school to the beginning of my freshman year in college. And
Hmm.
man, when that thing took off and like everybody started to like, figure it out or start to realize, like, wait a minute, it was insane, bro. I'll never forget. I was on campus at Livingstone College. It's an HBCU up in North Carolina. Me and the boys, we left campus that day to go get something to eat. Keep in mind, like I said, I'm a very introverted person. I don't just be advertising my life.
Right,
So nobody really knew who I was. They know I played football, and like I say, I went to class. I wasn't, I was a freshman. Don't nobody pay attention to freshmen.
right,
So
right.
we go off the yard. About an hour later, I come back to the yard. I don't even get past the security gate. Security like, hey man, your uncle was up here looking for you. And I'm like, I ain't got no family in Carolina. So I was like, I ain't think nothing of it. So I kept going to my dorm room, and like I say, from the RA, everybody's like, hey man, your uncle's here, your uncle's here, your uncle's here. I'm like, who y'all talking about? And that's when I had to put it together. I was like, wait a minute. So I called my mom, and I was like, well, Uncle Jamal at? He's like, oh, you got to show up in Carolina. And then I called him. I was like, hey, man, you was at school? He said, yeah, man, I tried to surprise you, but no, but you wasn't.
Wow. So
I'm like, yeah, well, appreciate that, man. But we ended up meeting in Charlotte later that night, and we hung out there. And that was when his first single came out, Low. And like I say, he was like #1 at the time, so it was crazy.
right, man. I remember that because I started putting two to two together because doing certain pictures. I'm like, damn, you with this cat a lot. Like,
Yeah,
I thought maybe manager or something like that. Then I went back to the pictures like, oh, maybe they're friends and stuff because you have certain friends that grow up as family members. I
right.
have a few of them, so it's like okay, but that whole story right there, man, just that little part, bro. I can only imagine going on the campus and as a freshman, your
Right.
whole life changed because of who you related to.
Right. And then, like I say, man, you don't get noticed by the women as a freshman. That should change real quick. That thing changed real quick, bro. Like,
Man, I bet, man. That's dope.
let's just say I ain't have to worry about not having to call no more, bro. I got to ride wherever I need to. I was never hungry again. I got to ride wherever I needed to, bro. So it
I
was
bet you
definitely
call Unc
shout
like,
out to the
hey,
Unc for that,
all
man.
right, I appreciate you, Unc. That was love. You did that without having to do it. You give it a
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. So, and then sometimes it ain't even about the money or finances, man. Like little things like that you can do with people go a
Yeah.
long way. So shout out to my uncle, man.
Man, that's what's up, man. Shout out to him. But I'm gonna get down to, man, like what did you start off first with, getting after you left the HBCU? Like what started this Taylor enterprise?
Enterprise, ooh, boy. Hopefully one day Enterprise.
Yeah.
No, so my journey pretty much. I went to Livingstone College. I had a scholarship there to play football. I spent my first year there. We was like 0-10. We was terrible, bro. Like we was
Wow.
terrible. We had a new head coach, and basically the whole team was like freshmen and sophomores. We had a few, and you got to think. So I'm in the CIAA, which is like one of the most known historically Black divisions in all of America. So we playing against grown men, and
Mm.
like I'm 18 at the time. You got cats on football teams at other school, 24, 25, like full grown men. They got their bodies all matured, ready to go. I'm,
Right.
I'm fresh out of high school, buck 85. And like I said, I'm one of the bigger people. So we out here trying to play.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a very trying season, brother. So um I still, I performed pretty well. I ended up transferring out to a school in California. I played a year there. Then once I got through there, I tried my luck out with the CFL. So I got
Mm.
on with the BC Lions. Went through the whole free agent camp and everything. Ended up tearing my knee, and
Oh,
spent that whole year just rehabbing. And then after that, I felt I didn't feel the love for football anymore.
right.
And football, one of those sports like if you don't love it, man, you got to stop that, man, because you get out there and get hurt for real.
Yeah.
So once I once I fell out of love with that, it was just trying to figure out life, man, what I wanted to do. And I spent like 6-7 years working any kind of job you can think of, man. I was worked for Home Depot, man. I worked Little Caesars. I worked lawn maintenance. I've been a janitor. Like, bro, any type of job you could think somebody having, bro, I probably done did it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Then I finally got to working for a chiropractor. He actually
A
he,
chiropractor?
yeah,
Wow.
man. And it was a girl I knew in high school. She worked the front desk for him, and he was looking for like assistant, somebody to teach like the ropes and kind of help him around the office. And she knew that I was looking for a job at the time, so she put me in contact with him. We talked, and I had no experience. I know what all I knew a chiropractor did crack, man. Nothing but chiropractic medicine, but him talking with me and kind of vibing with each other. He's like, man, I'm gonna show you all this. Don't even worry about it, man. So I got on with him. He got me a certificate, got me registered, and I spent 4 years working as a CA, as a chiropractic assistant. And then working as a chiropractic assistant is actually how I got into this line of work that I'm in now. A lot of my patients were first responders, so I dealt with a lot of firefighters, all police officers, paramedics, EMTs, because the job is very taxing on your body.
Oh yeah, I can
So
imagine.
they would always see me and like, "Hey, you ain't never thought about being a firefighter?" And I remember the first time I had that conversation, I was like, "Man, I ain't gonna run into no burning buildings. I'm going the other way." But like the more I thought about it, the more they would tell me every time they come in, they would just always get at me, get at me. They would always be telling me like the benefits and like how fun it is to work, the schedule,
Right.
salary, retirement, like all that stuff. And then not to mention, man, the kind of it kind of brings you back into that sports environment. You're working with a team, you're still required to be physically fit. And
Exactly.
you get to help people. And I always knew I wanted to help people. And like even from a kid, I always knew I wanted to help people. I wanted to be involved in medicine. So it kind of just was a blend of everything that I wanted to do in life. And it kind of was just like that perfect marriage, so to speak. So one thing led to another. I
Yeah.
started went to EMT school, went to the fire academy, and the rest
At
was
the
history.
same time,
Same time, brother. Same time.
how were you able to do that, man? Like, okay.
The EMT school was 3 months, 4 months. So once you finish the EMT portion, you go straight to the fire academy.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, and
So you
then
didn't
you
have no break, no time to
go
catch your breath.
break with them. So went in there, went to the fire academy. My very first job, I worked at a hospital as an EMT while I was waiting to get hired with the department. And
Right.
eventually I worked for the hospital for like 7, 8 months before I got on with my first department. And then been rocking it ever since, brother.
Wow, man. So you haven't had not one stop
Nah, bro.
in your transitions from boom, boom, from high school to college. You know, it's just, man. So where did all this come from? Like, where did you get all this energy and the focus to do all this, man? Because the average person would have broke after the EMT. Somebody would have stopped. Like, and I got to go home. Got to catch a break.
You gotta understand, bro. I'm the oldest of five, and I watched my mother by herself raise 5 kids on a $24,000 a year salary. Never
Mm,
broke, never stopped, all by herself, man. If
wow.
that lady could do that, who am I to be out here giving up, or who am I to be out here saying something's hard when I grew up watching what my mom did my whole life. And if she can make it through that,
That
I could find my way. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah.
not to mention, man, like I said, I saw what she went through, and I want to get to a point to where I can return, you know, the favor as far as making sure that she never works another day in her life. So my mother
Mm,
has worked since she was 14, man. She had me when she was 18. She's the oldest child. Her first sibling was born at 2. So my mother literally been like responsible, so to speak, for
right,
people
right.
since she was 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? My mother's 53 right now. So she hasn't had a break. I haven't had a break. My mother hasn't had a break in 50 years. So
Wow, man.
that's another thing that drives me, man. I got to make sure that lady can sit down one day, man.
That's
She been
beautiful,
a
man.
hero.
I like hearing that. I like hearing that. I feel like we gotta show that more, especially nowadays. Because you
Yeah.
know we look at the generation now and be like, they don't want to even deal with our elderly or old people. You know what I'm saying? Like they on always on the go. So it's good to actually hit y'all hear how important that is, right? We gotta take care of the people who took care of us.
But it's sad, man. One of the saddest things I see in my line of work, man, you run on a lot of elderly people, man. A lot of them, they don't have anybody.
Mm,
Uh, they're either in an assisted living facility, family never comes to visit them, or they're living by themselves, can barely take care of themselves, and it's just unfortunate because sometimes it's just the family really not wanting to deal with them, and sometimes
right.
it's the relationships that they have cultivated with those family members. Because a lot of times you treat people a certain way, thinking you're gonna live forever, and nothing's ever gonna happen to you, and then one day when you need people, people don't want to help you because of how you treated them, however many years ago, man. So it's all if I leave with 2 things, man. Just treat others the way you want to be treated, man. 'Cause you'll never know when you're gonna need that person later on in life. And
Yeah,
always, man, always give back, man, and look out for the ones that lead the path down before you, man. Absolutely, 100%.
that's real right there, man. That was some poetry right there. You gotta write that down. Yeah, you gotta write that down. That's deep.